Hello gorgeous, Mimi Styles here, and I can officially say welcome to my channel. I am so excited to be able to bring you guys content this year. Don't mind me if I'm fidgeting around. I'm working with a new camera. I am also working with a new mic, so I'm just adjusting things. Oh my God, this has been such a long time in the making. I thought that I would have gotten this channel off the ground last year, but if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I took on flipping a house last year, and it was a whole lot. So I wasn't really able to do much with my socials last year, but I'm flipping another house now, but I have a good team together, and so I have a little more time to focus on my YouTube and my Instagram channels. So welcome. If you want to know more about me and what I do, stick around. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Stay tuned. Before we get started, I would love it if you would click the subscribe, click on the notification buttons. I need all the help I can get. I'm brand spanking new to this, so please do it. And also tell your friends, tell your husband, tell your wife. All right, anyway, enough with the jokes. I used to be in the entertainment business. I still am, but COVID kind of brought that to a halt. I do invest in real estate, have been doing that for several years, my husband and I. And the first year of COVID, I decided to try my hand at flipping a house, which is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, and because of my work and the amount of travel that it involved, I was just never able to do that. And so finally in 2020 I had enough time, I had the resources, and so I went for it. I got outbid a lot. It was very challenging to find a property, and that was the least of the challenges. I did get lucky. I finally found someone. I work with a really good realtor who's also a friend of mine and a friend of my husband's. He brought me a bunch of properties, and finally I found one that kind of nobody wanted, which made it great for me because that meant that I didn't have a lot of competition with people buying it. But actually, to be truthful, I did bid on this house earlier in the year and got outbid by not that much. And it turned out that the buyer found out that she was a member of the same sorority as the seller. And so she wrote a personal letter and appealed to her, and the seller agreed to sell to her for less than actually what I had offered. I don't know what all happened. I think they got a bad contractor, if I'm not mistaken, and he did a lot of damage to the house, damage that I think they weren't willing to take on the expense for. And so I made a second offer on the house. When I came in to see the house, it was a very different house than what I originally bid on. And because of that, it presented a lot of unique challenges, so much so that I barely had any time to really do anything in other areas of my life. I really felt like I had to really keep my eye on the ball with that house. But I'm proud to say that I finished it and I sold it for a great amount of money, and I was able to sell it for more than I thought I would, and even more than my realtor thought I would. I decided at the very end to go kind of high end on the house, just because the market just began to go insane and everybody was buying everything. So I didn't really fear that I would have a problem with selling it, but I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to get my money out. So I decided in the middle of the project to go higher end, which paid off and allowed me to sell it for a higher price. So it worked out great, and I've since invested in 2 more houses. My husband and I just renovated his mom's former house, and we're going to Airbnb that. So that's the crux of what I do. We own some rental spaces in New Jersey. We've been doing that for a number of years, and it's been very good to us and allowed us to kind of have the freedom to do the other things that we wanted to do. We live in New Jersey currently. We travel quite a bit. We used to have 2 dogs that we adored. We just now have one. One passed away. Our dog that is still with us is Boots. We do have children, and What else can I tell you about myself? I'm not really sure. Try to tell you a little bit about me so that you know who you're talking to and who you're following and who you're listening to. And if you're coming here from Instagram, you already know me a little bit, but this will fill some things in for you, fill in the holes, fill in the blanks. The focus of my channel is going to be fashion, food, and interiors. And I say that because of my house flipping. I've become very, very interested in interiors. Well, I wouldn't say I've always been very interested in interiors. My mother-in-law was an interior design professional, and my grandmother was also into interior design. In fact, both of them loved it and did it. One of them did it for her work, and my other grandmother did it sort of more as a hobby, but with helping friends. When I was growing up, you know, both of my grandmothers and my mother-in-law too made all their own curtains. My mother-in-law could upholster furniture, she could refinish furniture. My father-in-law was a builder and a contractor. He was a woodworker, he was a plumber, he was an engineer, and he could build anything. He focused on building log cabins up in the Catskills. So this kind of, I think, comes naturally to me, something I've always been interested in. Obviously, you know, I love fashion. I love fashion. But I think along with current styles in fashion, I'll be looking to bring you more eclectic fashion, if you will, different kinds of things. I'll be looking to put things together a little bit differently than other creators you see on here. Not better, just different. I love so many content creators on YouTube, and I love how so many of them have such a unique sense of style and their own very unique sense of fashion, as do I. I like to kind of move away from just buying things because they're extremely popular. Well, I can't say move away from it. I would like to say that I've always been that way, but when I say move away from it, I mean in terms of what I bring to you on my channel. Of course, I will always bring you things that are truly unique, truly interesting, beautifully designed. They may not always be designer, but some will. I do love designers, and I have quite a bit. I am also quite a thrifter. You know, when I was 20, we weren't so much into talking about cost per wear, and also being more conscientious about what we buy and what we spend our money on, and brands, and if they were doing the conscientious thing with how they make their garments and distribute and all of those things. And now we talk a lot about those things, and I'm extremely interested in those things. I'm extremely interested in the environment, and even when I'm building, my goal is to by next year be building completely green, as green as possible. So these things are very interesting to me, recycling. So I did understand why recycling was good from a young age, and I did do that from a young age, but I don't think that we understood, or at least I didn't at that time. I understood that I was giving a new life to something, and I loved that. And I understood that that it cut down on processing and making things, but I don't really know if I understood the detriment that the fashion industry causes to the planet. And now that I am aware of that, I'm hyper aware, and I want to do as much as I can toward helping to cease that, or at least slow it way down. So thrifting for me is a very important part of my style and my fashion sense. And it's not only because it's the right thing to do in terms of the planet, ecologically, it's just remembering these beautiful pieces. And I feel this way about music. Beautiful music should never die, and wonderful films and books and all of these things. We should constantly be repurposing these things to glean as much as we can from them in terms of their lifespan, in terms of the artistry, in terms of the beauty. So my channel will focus a lot on thrifting and designers that are less talked about, less logos. I do love logos. I don't have anything against them, but my preference is to not have as many, and that's kind of always been my preference. I think my style ranges from very over the top to conservative, but when I say conservative with a twist. So you'll see a lot of that here and on my Instagram and my TikTok pages. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back very soon with lots and lots of content. I plan to post once a week, and that will probably be on Fridays. Could go to Wednesdays, but I'll let you know more in the next video and the video after that. I love that you guys have stopped by to spend time with me. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to bringing you you so much amazing content this year. Again, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please hit the notification button. Again, my name is Mimi Styles. I'll be back really soon with a lot of great content for you. Stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.